Hi everyone, it's Adrian Leah. I have a mini haul. I have a new cast on that I started today. I've been doing mini pouches, and the cast on is a tarot bag. I have a test knit, and the deadline is the 4th of next month. I'll film that prematurely and I'll have it set for that day. I'm still thinking about how I'm going to film the videos, and my godmother's niece is still processing, so I figured I would head over there. So this week is my last full week at work. I said I could pop in here and there since my storage unit is in the area, and the owner said that you could do that, or I could just say that you're still working if they ask for the application. So thank you. I will start showing the items. So on my shorter days, I tend to go to journey to a yarn shop that is a little way a ways for me, and there's some yarn shops that are aren't that close either, but this one heads in the direction is towards the direction of the DC traffic or the DMV traffic. So it's the Magpie Fibers, and there is an Irish store across the street. So I did get a couple of things here and there, mainly because I was thinking I would go to Magpie Fibers since they had a yarn brand that I wanted to see the colorways of, because I have been using scrap yarn for the different mini projects, and I wanted to look at their look at the stuff as I mentioned. I didn't get yarn, but I did get some supplies. So in this bag, I got a Norwegian thimble. I figured I would pick it up there. It was on the more expensive side than what I've seen online, but some of them are a different material, and I hope it's not weird. I did smell it to see if I can smell what it was, and it didn't have a strong scent, so when I put it on my finger, there was two of them, one that fit me and one that didn't fit me. So I I'm sorry, I smelled the material or the ring, and I felt it, and I looked at it, and it seemed like it was a material that I wasn't getting an allergic reaction from. So since based off of the price range and the the way that it was with the things that I tried to sense out or look at, I guess observe, I feel like it's like a a sterling silver because I asked and they weren't sure about the material either. And I don't think it's silver because silver has traces of nickel, and I do have reactions to nickel, especially when if I were to if my skin got wet and I was wearing silver, my skin would react immediately to it. It would start to like blister and bleed. So it would like open up like a wound. And I wasn't getting it from this ring. And I wasn't getting any stains in case my hands were wet. So it's a good sign for me to keep saying what what I think the material is. But I figured I would pick it up because I really wanted to see how the color work would be and the tension. I have heard good things about it. And I have heard people adjusting the rings because sometimes it's a one size fits all and they would put material in it to make it fit their finger. But I just thought it was like a good opportunity to pick it up. I used it for my test knit. I am super pleased by how the color work looks. Um, it is one of like I would say the benefit of it is that it's steady. Maybe in time it might be the same pace as if I were to tension it with my finger like I would normally do. But at the same time, I feel like I could knit longer since it's less straining when I'm not constantly adjusting the tension with my hand because I would just like wrap my yarn around to tension while I'm knitting. So I really like it, and it's not something that's intrusive. It's um, something that it feels nice when I'm using it. So I'm happy that it's a usable tool for me. Then I wasn't really out for much, but I did get another needle for my Chagu set. The other week I did finish off the 4-inch needles because I originally purchased the half set, like the smaller needles, and then I figured I would gradually get the larger ones. So the other week I got the 10.5, the 13, and the 15. And when I was at Magpie Fibers, I did pick up another size 6 because I wanted to. Because what I do, I like to have the full sets and then I want to make sure the full sets stay full. And so I did this with my Knitter's Pride too. And I have like extra needles for the sizes that I use a lot. And I would carry those around because at some point when things have settled and maybe when I'm at my godmother's, I won't carry the Chagus with me because it's a little costly. So I do have my leather knitting um, needle case that I got from the IK leather shop. And I mainly want to have the needles in there, the ones that I carry around. I'll probably carry around all the Chaga cords because I don't have many, but I don't want to take from the full sets. I'm not going to carry all the needles, just keep the ones that I choose. So I also have the 5-inch needles in here as well. And that was the original one. Then I went across the street to go to the Irish shop because um, the owner knows me, and she's like, "Aren't you supposed to be in Scotland by now?" I'm like, "I don't want to talk about it." And she's like, "You could do it." And she has the Harris Tweed products. I've said time and time again how I'm blown away by the quality of the Harris Tweed. I love how like classic and how traditional it looks, and it seems to be more of a natural, well, I wouldn't say more natural, but natural production and the type of material that I really like. I mean, of course, I do go for other materials, but this is also something that's dear to me since it is um, like 100% pure wool. It's the hand woven cloth Harris Tweed outer hy is it hybrids of Scotland, 100% pure new wool. When I was there, I had my backpack because that carries my projects. And I was thinking maybe if I get to the yarn shop a little early, I could knit there, but I wasn't able to get there on like I didn't have a lot of time to knit to sit and knit because when you go to yarn shops, a lot of times they have like sitting areas where you can do that. But I just got caught in traffic, but it was fine. I did get some I got some drinks at the Irish store because I like to try the new product or try the products that are there, and um, it kind of gives me an idea of like the type of things that I can find when I'm in the UK. So the segue to that, because I had my backpack, I was like looking through the stuff because I was technically looking for a wallet-ish to go with my backpack because I was thinking maybe I'll just use one bag. But I did get a pouch, so it's this one. It's the coin purse. This doesn't fit the cards, but it's completely okay. I do have a mini wallet that I keep with my other bag, or I keep with my bag because I did switch bags. Um, I was at the shop and I was like, does this match this color? And she's like, it actually does match it perfectly. And I was thinking the same thing. So let me get my backpack. It's right next to me. I don't know if this is a sign of how like handmade it is. That's not a bad thing at all. Um, just because the leather is so like there's so much depth to this blue that like sometimes like in this lighting it looks more of like either a teal or a green, but then on camera it doesn't, and right now it doesn't really because it's closer to the light. But when I'm in my car or like during the daytime, it looks like an aquatic blue, and it's I really love the button detail. I showed it in another video because sometimes when you have backpacks like this, they sometimes like pop here because you have too much stuff like here sticking out. So when you have um, these buttons on the side, it's like a guarantee that your bag's not gonna pop open. But I just had my backpack on and I was looking at these pouches because I wanted to get a pouch to go with it. And there were other wallets, but I really like this coin purse. So what's in here now, so it just fits it so perfectly. And you can see the depth of this color and the depth of this color too. So both of the products have like a lot of depth. I put my thimble in here, and is this a lucky penny? Because I didn't think I had money in here. But I feel like I'll put my notions, like different crafting items in here. And it's just so dreamy. I love Harris Tweed. And the owner and I were talking about it because she's like, when you get there, there's a store, or I don't know if there's multiple stores, where you can customize your Harris Tweed bag. And I just thought that was like the best. So it's something that's definitely on my bucket list. Since I have my backpack next to me, I will show a stitch marker that I got the other day. And it's I work on my Pray for Ukraine mittens usually during my break or when I'm at the bookstore. So again, this is the finished mitten, and um, it it came out like it was my first time using this yarn. Was it? It was my first time technically using this variation of this brand. I have used this brand before, and I loved it for one of the tarot bags. So I picked this up, and I just was like blown away by how much the stitches came together because it's non-superwash. It's the ideal yarn for doing color work. How they just bind together and it makes the picture like one, if that makes sense. So I actually really love the mitten because I've never really used like full on mittens, but I really like this. But as I said, I am still working on this. I just cut, no, I didn't cut. I separated for the thumb, and what I wanted to show is my stitch marker that I got from another yarn shop. It's the Needles in a Haymarket, and that's where I get most of my needles because they have such a wide selection. But I think more stores are carrying the 4-inch ChiaoGus because before I didn't see them as much. And then the Needles in a Haymarket, they carry the Knitter's Pride needles, and I have gotten many needles from them too. Before I used to get them off of an Etsy shop, which is definitely nice. Um, I got technically I have two of the Knitter's Pride sets. They are less expensive than the ChiaoGu ones, but that's how much I loved it. I have one unopened one and one that's opened, and then I have it's opened, and then I have the needles that I use a lot on top of that. So um, I just like having all those needles. But there was one time where I got a stitch marker. I don't know if you can see it. It's a kitty cat. Mm, uh, I really love it. It's just, to make sure I know they're at a quick when I just see it, I'll just know what side is the starting point. And of course you could see that, but I think it just makes it more straightforward and quicker to just look at that. So this is definitely going to be finished next month. I did go to another yarn store the other day. I got a couple of things. They were on sale. So that this store is the Red Box Yarn. And they know me there. They said the exact same thing. They're just like, aren't you supposed to be like gone by now? I got some yarn that was on sale. I feel like it's a little fancier, so I'm gonna make myself some mittens using this yarn. I got 3. These were from the sale section. So the yarn is Nuna Luxurious. Wait, sorry. Nuna is the Czech one. I'm sorry if I didn't say that correctly. Word for soul or spirit. And it's the luxurious, extra fine merino wool and mulberry silk blended with bamboo sourced viscose. So I initially didn't get like 3 of them. I just got these 2. Then so the mother is older and she likes to help out in the store. I um went back inside after paying for this stuff because the discount wasn't applied for this stuff, so I just got the store credit. I feel like the universe, like, because I was thinking maybe I'll just buy a little bit of yarn. I don't need to do too much. And then the universe is just like, no, you could just get the yarn. And I was like, okay, I don't mind. So I got some store credit. So I got another one of these. So the blue is the Aquarius. And sorry, I don't think you're gonna see anything, but it's fine. And there are 50 grams per hank. And then the suggested needle size is a 3.75 millimeter or a US 5. So I think that's interesting. Um, but, but yeah, I think so. I mean, it's possible, definitely. Then this one is an elderflower. And I didn't mean to sound rude. I'm sure there's a completely good reason why it gave those. recommendations. Sometimes I pause and think, like, Adrian, you should really sound nicer. It's the Mirasol. Then this was, well, these were 20% off. This was the last one in the 75% off bin. And I figured I would pick it up because, well, it's a chunky yarn and, or vintage chunky in the bulky weight. And it's using a US 10 and it gives the knitting gauge. So there is some wool in it. There's 40% wool, 52% acrylic, and then 8% nylon. As long as there's like the wool content in there and I see it's a decent percentage, I can still use it. And I like Barico. So what I wanted to do with this, it is 100 grams. And the colorway I don't see. But it says 6123. I've knit with a pink before. It was a tarot bag for, or an oracle bag, and it was what is it? It was a heart cable pattern. So I thought that that would be perfect to do again because I did enjoy that pattern and I do want it for as another deck bag. So I'm thinking I'll use it for that and then I'll think of other things that I'll use this yarn with. Maybe I can use it for another bag or another project. So other things, and then I'll show my, oh, did I show my finished object? I did show it in the video log as I said. So it's one of these pouches, and I'm using the Garden Samplers cowl pattern. So this is one section of the pattern. I did a tarot bag where I did this section and the flower section. Since I'm showing it now, I'll show the project. So the project that I'm working on now is red and black. I'm really into red and black. My garment that I'm knitting is primarily red and black. And this is what I have so far. I did the Judy's Magic cast on and I'm just working it up now. I feel like it should be done by maybe the end of the week. I might show it when I show my test knit. But I'm really excited to have this because I think that the color palette is so cool. Then I also wanted to show, I did clear out one bag that had my supplements because it wasn't an ideal bag for it. I just kept it in there because the cats took the container that I would normally keep them in because I would get the empty capsule containers like that you would keep the vegetable capsules in. So they were really convenient. This I can finally use as a knitting or project bag. Then I do have a couple of things that should complete what I'm showing. So, I have been on the hunt to look for some Gulliver chocolate. I found literally one piece in one store, and I checked like four stores in the area, but it's okay. I did find other chocolate that I really liked too, and it didn't have dairy product in it. So it's been cool seeing the selection of chocolates that when I look at the ingredients, it doesn't have that, which is more unusual for American chocolate. And I'm not saying that it's definitely based off of what you eat and what you would like to have in the chocolate is subjective too, and maybe more important for specific reasons. But I have been trying different things, and some stores, well, one store specifically, there is a like a minimum charge for the card. And so sometimes I get like the ice cream there, and I do take a supplement for that. But I really like their berry ice cream. And I did get some little trinkets and bits and bobs. So I found another item to go in my fairy village. I saw the statue and I was like, I knew exactly what I wanted to do. So that's this one. And I felt like there was a little bit of a significance with like um, swine herding and even plant nurseries with me. Then I got some, well, I got this button here, and then from another store, well, I thought it was, well, oh, this is a bag from an Etsy shop. I got two bags from them, which Both of them had the bird design. It's from a while ago. It is the shop is Crearts, Crearts, and I just love the embroidery. So the shop is based in Hungary. Sorry, I'm looking at the shop and I see that there's new bags. I'll look at that. But this I kept my tour bags in here, but then I decided to switch it because it kind of went with my other bag, my backpack. And so I also have my Harris Tweed Highland Cow on here because it's the only, well, I like it, and it's the only one that has a clasp. So everything's like attached to it. So these are my storage unit keys. This is a nesting doll keychain. And this one I saw at another store too when I was trying to look for chocolate. And I thought I could just put them here along with this bear. Because my thing was I wanted to um, knit clothes for the bear. And I thought that would be fun. Is um, the one of the shop owners, or she was saying that she was carrying her bear at the Kennedy Center. This because she's like, I have one too. Then the last thing, I think, I think it's the last thing. I got, they're just random. I went to the supermarket and I got some oven mitts. I haven't been cooking or baking recently since I've been in the hotel, but I do have a like a mauve oven mitt, and I really like the blue. This is kind of like a, I don't think it's showing up as a muted teal, but it, that's what it would be. I guess kind of like that with the flowers. Oh, and I think that's it. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in another video.